Susan Calman. I've been to some amazing places on cruise ships.
There are two whales just up ahead.
But this time,
Come on.
I want to take you on some truly unforgettable globe-trotting adventures.
The best cup of tea in the world.
I think so.
These are my bucket list cruises to beat all others.
Right!
To parts of the world you only ever dream about.
They're quite breathtaking.
Our dream come true. Aboard every kind of ship, some huge,
Goes on for miles.
some a little smaller.
The captain already to escort me on board.
Personally.
So pack your suitcase and your passport
How do you do?
and join me sailing the high seas.
Yes!
And you could end up here,
Sort of spiritual, isn't it?
or here,
This is my first time seeing a kangaroo.
So excited for you.
or even here. Welcome on board my cruise of a lifetime.
Here's the cruise.
Australia. We've all grown up thinking we know the place. From the iconic buildings to the outback and beyond, it all feels strangely familiar. Yet I've never visited. Until now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Tell you what, that blows the cobwebs away, doesn't it? Come on, Australia. Let's see what you've got. I'm on a cruise of a lifetime sailing the country's southern coast before heading on to New Zealand.
Is that a kangaroo?
And I finally get to experience the land down under with my own eyes.
Look at that cave.
I'll be soaking up the scenery and enjoying world-class wines.
Oh!
And iconic wildlife.
He's an absolute dreamboat.
And to add to all that, I make some fabulous new friends along the way.
It's really nice.
What I love about cruising is I get to meet so many different people. I get to sail on amazing ships and I get to visit parts of the world I've only dreamt of going to. Now, apologies to my Australian friends, but yes, it's g'day, mate. I'm over 10,500 miles from home in Oz. I think it's going to be a little ripper. Do you know, for being down under it, it seems to be the right way round. I think that might be the jet lag talking. Because it's taken a whopping 26 hours to travel over 10,500 miles from Glasgow to the city of Melbourne in Victoria. From here, we head west to Portland, then across to Kangaroo Island, before sailing to Adelaide. And our final port on this leg, the island of Tasmania. To get to know this vast continent, I'm meeting local Brett in a cosmopolitan district of Melbourne. He's promised a quick insider's guide to his home country before my ship departs. Brett?
Hi.
Hi, Susan. Nice to meet
How
you.
you doing?
Did you get me a coffee?
Of course I did.
Right.
Melbourne's best.
What is it?
It's called a Magic.
What makes it magic?
It's a ristretto double shot coffee with 3/4 milk. I'll get your heart started.
That's really strong.
It is.
The one thing I'd heard about Melbourne was it's very famous for its coffee, though, isn't it?
You could walk to probably 50 coffee shops in this from here in 10 minutes.
What's Melbourne like?
Well, I've always said that Sydney's the pretty one, but Melbourne has a better personality.
Sold! Fueled by magic, it's time to get going. And Brett's promised me the best way to see the sights, in the short time we have, is aboard Melbourne's most iconic mode of transport.
And we're on. There's so much to see in Melbourne. You're doing my open-topped bus tour on a tram with no open top.
Right where we are now is the inner north,
Right.
so it's quite hipster. And then we're going to be passing through Parkville, beautiful parklands over here, and then towards Vic Markets and the city.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just such a part of life, you know.
I just like the noise of them because it has that noise. It's quite nice.
Brett is Australian born and bred, so I'm in safe hands as he tells me all about daily life down under.
I did get bitten by a spider 2 days ago,
Right.
and my hand was like massive.
Okay, shut up. Because one of the reasons I've never wanted to come to this country is that everything's trying to kill you.
It's there.
No, I can see the fang marks. He's got fang marks.
Spoke too soon, and I've not even left Melbourne. I need a distraction.
So that's Flinders Street down there, the main station. And this is Burke Street Mall, which is a very famous shopping area.
I love it. It feels open, it feels bright. I'm falling in love with Melbourne.
Good.
It's gorgeous.
Stay.
All right.
As lovely as that sounds, my ship awaits. So back on the tram and on with the tour.
Oh, yeah, look, they're setting up for the Grand Prix now. Those are the stands for the Grand Prix.
Really? Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Every year, Albert Park transforms into a racetrack to host the Australian Grand Prix.
We're heading towards the beach, and then we'll end up at Luna Park.
What is Lunar Park then?
It is Melbourne Fun Park. It's got one of the oldest wooden roller coasters in the world.
Really beautiful. Such a city of so many different things because it's modern and then it's traditional and then it's got the beach and then it's got the shopping and then it's got the culture and then it's got the hipster. It's just got so many different parts.
Set the bar pretty high, right?
Yes.
We've made it to the final stop, and just in time to catch my ship.
Brett, thank you so much
Pleasure.
for showing me the sights of Melbourne.
I've enjoyed it myself.
Thank you very much indeed. I think my ship's that way, right?
Yeah, you are that way?
Yeah.
I'm headed this way.
Okay, thanks Brett. See you later
Safe
on.
travels.
Bye, darling.
After a fun-filled whistle-stop tour of the city, it's time to get on board my home from home, the ship.
Is it behind me? Is it behind me? Yeah? Okay, 3, 2, 1. She's beautiful.
Please say good day to Norwegian Sun. With 12 decks and a crew of 900, this 258-metre vessel is packed with everything I could need for my maiden voyage around southern Australia. And after checking in, I'm keen to get on board.
Hi.
Hi, welcome on board.
Thank you. Well. Hello. Hey? I love an atrium with an elevator that you can see. Call me old-fashioned, but it reminds me of like the glamour of Dallas and Dynasty. Why? I don't know. This looks absolutely tremendous. First impressions, top notch.
Before we set sail, I've time to navigate my way to deck 8 and find my cabin.
8054 8055. This is me. The cabin, in a way, is a bit more of a base camp for my adventures. I'm going to be spending my time here relaxing, collapsing, after a lot of activity. So I want it to be comfortable and practical.
And a balcony is the cherry on top of any cruise ship cake.
Lovely stuff.
Time for a quick change, then it's up to the top deck to join my fellow cruisers as we're about to set sail on our Aussie adventure.
Part of me thinks that I know everything about Australia because I grew up watching Antipodean soap operas and I've bought every single album Kylie Minogue's ever made. But then the sensible part of me thinks that's a pile of nonsense, Susan, it's just the television. So my mission on this cruise is very simple. I want to get out and about, I want to meet some real Australians and find out what this country is all about. Do you know I'm the same height as Kylie Minogue? I mean, that's where the similarity ends, really, but, you know.
As we leave port and set sail, I can't help thinking, I'm so lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Coming up, I come face to face with Australia's mascot.
He's huge.
And lap up the drama of the Great Ocean Road.
It's an absolute marvel.
I'm on a voyage down under, discovering the real Australia. It's a country that feels strangely familiar, but one I've never visited until now. And as we start a new day, the ship is abuzz with activity.
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you.
As me and my fellow cruisers fill up at the breakfast buffet before arriving at our first stop, Portland. I'm told it's the perfect place to explore this impressive, rugged coastline. So I'm joining an excursion along the Great Ocean Road that winds just over 150 miles between Alonsford and Torquay.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Well, thank you.
After an hour's drive, we hit the stretch of road visited on average by 6 million people a year.
So it is the start of the Great Ocean Road, or the end of the Great Ocean Road, depending on which direction you have come from, and taking in some spectacular countryside and ocean views along the way.
It feels in a way slightly familiar because I've driven along roads quite like this back in the UK. What's different here though is the scale of it. It's that slightly thrilling mix of something that I've seen before but absolutely heightened. My goodness. I can see why everyone talks about this when they come home.
The road was constructed 100 years ago after the First World War by over 3,000 men, many of whom were ex-service. When it was completed, it was dedicated to all the fallen Australian soldiers and has become known as the largest war memorial in the world.
You'll go over your right hand shoulder, you'll get a good view.
The sheer size of the cliffs is breathtaking. I can't wait to get a closer look.
Wow. That's the Razorback. What a name. It's an absolute marvel to be able to get this close to them. Look at that cave over there. That is incredible. I love a cave because there's such mystery about it, isn't there?
While we enjoy stretching our legs, I want to find out what drew some of my fellow passengers to visit this country.
Why have you chosen this particular cruise?
We're tennis fans and we wanted to come to the Australia Open.
Right,
That's been on my bucket list for years. And then when you're here and we have the opportunity to take this cruise and see all these beautiful ports, of course we had to do it.
So who would you consider the greatest male player of all time? Have a think.
Of all time?
Who would you think? Who would you think?
I like Andy Murray.
That's the right answer. Sir Andy Murray.
Sir Andy Murray.
How are you finding it? Because it's a bit of a different climate, isn't it? You're from Scotland.
Yep, Glasgow, yeah.
When we left, I think it was 3 degrees when we left.
Yeah, Ruth and I are trying to get to the furthest away parts from Scotland as we can, whilst we're still relatively fit.
Yeah.
And then when we get a bit unfitter, we'll go to,
like
go to the shorter
you've got a
destination.
circumference.
Yes.
And as you get older, it's like a spiral.
It's going down to nothing.
Eventually, it'll be a holiday in kind of Dunblane or something like that, where Andy Murray is from. Hey!
Be it to escape the weather or enjoy world-class tennis, we all have our different reasons for coming on this cruise. For me, this excursion is a fabulous introduction to Australia's dramatic landscape, and our next stop is the main attraction on this historic road.
Before it was called the 12 Apostles, it was called the Sow and Piglets. It's amazing how calling something different changes your perception. So the Sow and Piglets, you know, that's quite a nice thing, isn't it? The 12 Apostles, I'm expecting something quite incredible.
These imposing sea stacks were discovered by the local indigenous people. In 1798, naval explorer George Bass named them the Sow and Piglets. Their name was changed again in the 1920s to attract tourists. And it's worked.
It looks sort of unreal, actually. It looks like a painting or a drawing or something like that.
Only 7 of the apostles still stand today. The others have been eroded by the harsh winds and seas that batter this coastline.
It's obviously a very Instagrammable spot. Lots of selfies being taken. The waves are creating a spray which makes it look like they're covered in mist. Slightly ethereal, a bit mysterious. And the fact that we're all up here and they're left on their own down there, that's actually quite beautiful. They're quite breathtaking.
On board, and we're now heading west to Kangaroo Island for a taste of the wilderness. From there we'll sample the wines of southern Australia before reaching the island of Tasmania. While we're at sea, we've time for one of my favourite onboard activities.
One of the most important things you have to do as soon as you get on board the ship is do a wee tour. Find out where everything is, get your bearings, and then you'll make the most of your time on the ship. So shall we go? Let's go.
The cabins are situated on 8 of the ship's 12 decks, with more than enough lifts to help you get up, down, and all around on board.
This is quite an exciting lift because it's the one that you can see out of.
I suddenly feel like I've stepped onto the set of Dallas.
So deck 5, really excellent central area. You've got your guest services, lots of people waiting to book tours and the like.
From the, shall we say, business deck, the deck above is all about recreation.
There's lots happening on deck 6. This is one of the lounges and they put on lots of entertainment.
And away from the hubbub, you can always find a calm sanctuary on board, like this library.
I think this is a beautiful resource. So just in here, there's a painting class going on. And it's really nice, actually, because I think sometimes people think of cruise ships as these loud, incredibly busy places. But you can spot in there, there's just 5 or 6 people having a lovely time painting away. So you can find peace and quiet if you know where to look when you're on a ship.
This ship is longer than 2 football pitches, so it's easy to get your daily step count in. And with over 10 restaurants on board, it's a good idea to work out before you dine out.
Now, if you step outside on deck 6, there is this lovely sort of promenade area. But interestingly, it can be used at certain times for jogging. Look, there's a woman running. Quite fast.
And if sport is your thing, there are plenty more options on deck 12.
Behind me, sports area for basketball, table tennis, giant chess, if you want to exercise your mind.
And if you brace yourself, it's worth heading to the bow of the ship on this deck for panoramic views.
That's as high as you can go really on the ship. And I'm right at the front. It's a little bit blustery, but it's worth it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Tell you what, that blows the cobwebs away, doesn't
it? Fresh-faced and full of vigour, I'm recharged and ready to explore our next stop, Kangaroo Island. This island is the 3rd largest in Australia and more than 11 times bigger than the Isle of Wight. Legend has it the island was named by European settlers in 1802, who were greeted by a mob of kangaroos. And today I'm hoping to spot some on a wildlife tour with my companions Sue and Kat.
So, we're going to Kangaroo Island today. Are you very excited?
Oh, I can't wait. I've always wanted to come to Kangaroo Island. Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
The ladies both live in Australia, but met via a cruise chat group on social media.
Someone started a solos thread, and then we just were saying, oh, let's get together when we come down to Melbourne.
That's brilliant. I know, as a solo traveller, like, it's nice to know someone before you go on the cruise, and this was just perfect.
And as we arrive, it looks like the island has organised a welcoming committee.
Yeah. Penguins. Oh, wow. they penguins?
Loads of penguins.
No, those are not penguins.
No, they're a type of seabird.
They're not penguins. Do you know what? Sometimes the tender is the worst place in the world because someone just went, there's some penguins, and everyone went, there's some penguins. Now, luckily, someone here went, that's not a penguin.
I don't know. They're just suss it out. We'll suss it out.
Anyway, we're going to get off now, get to Kangaroo Island, and we'll have a lovely time, OK?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Kat's wildlife spotting skills are going to come in handy on today's tour to Hanson Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. It covers over 5,000 acres and is surrounded by protected wilderness where indigenous flora and fauna thrive.
This is Guy Tom.
Hey guys.
We are so excited. I think especially Kat.
Oh, it's a dream to be on this island. And
It's a pleasure to have you here. So,
Tom lives on the park to help manage the sanctuary and care for the many species that call this place home.
what sort of animals do we want to see today?
Whatever you've got.
All right,
I don't
that's
want to
very
be
good.
prescriptive. Do you know what I mean?
At the sanctuary here, we have koalas, kangaroos, Tamar wallabies, goannas, snakes, and it's an all-natural experience. So what we see is in the wild, so hopefully we see them all. I'm looking forward to showing you around.
OK, now, because we're in, essentially, the wilderness, I'd be grateful if you would lead the way so we don't go anywhere we
Of
should
course,
go. Is that okay?
I'll be a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
I'll walk heavy-footed, and we'll scare any sort of creepy crawlers away.
Please, walk heavy-footedly away.
Let's go, guys.
Thank you very much.
The sanctuary is proudly fence-free, and every visitor must be escorted by a guide to ensure the wildlife is admired from a safe distance.
Now, Tom, we've just left the car park. Is that a kangaroo?
That certainly is, Susan. That's a western grey kangaroo, large male one. During the day, they tend to hang out in the shade.
Oh, he's getting up,
he's getting up now.
He's getting up.
He probably heard us.
He's huge. I mean, I may sound really silly because I know you may have seen kangaroos before. This is my first time seeing a kangaroo.
so excited for you.
And when
That's
I came,
your first time?
yeah,
Oh,
of course.
wow.
And the thing is, coming to Australia, where the kangaroo is so famous, to Kangaroo Island, to within, I don't know, 2 minutes to see a kangaroo, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Well, do you know what, Tom? That's been a great visit. I hope you've all enjoyed it.
But there's so much more to see.
Right, let's go and find some more then,
Yeah,
Tom.
definitely.
Let's go and find some more.
Coming up, I fall in love with the world's most famous tree hugger
Oh, there it is.
and our guide.
He's an absolute dreamboat. There, I've said it.
Plus a wine tasting in Adelaide. Might have finally won me over to this tipple.
Awaken the aroma.
Yes, awaken them.
Welcome back to Australia, a country I've always wanted to visit. And so far it's exceeding my expectations. Especially after spotting my first kangaroo.
This is my first time seeing a kangaroo.
So excited for you.
Our next stop on my tour of Hanson Bay Wildlife Sanctuary is koala spotting. And Tom has a nifty trick to attract these much-loved creatures.
So this tree here is regeneration of the Tasmanian blue gum.
Right.
And if you want to find a koala, you've got to smell like one. So have a smell of that, Susan, and tell me what you think. Trust me. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So our koalas will eat their body weight per week of this leaf. They get all the nutrients, the water. People say that they get a sense of euphoria from it.
Really?
Yeah, from the oils, which is why they're so sleepy.
And with the help of our new cologne and Tom's keen eye, it's not long before we spot our first koala.
I can see something furry. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
He's given us a great smile at the moment. So there might be a truth to the rumour about the euphoria from the eucalypt leaves, I think.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, he looks like a lot of people have seen at a student party. Do you know what I mean? He's looking... How do you feel about these animals? Because they are so iconic in terms of your country.
To see them in their environment is the best, rather than in a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
You learn so much more about them and its habitat and, oh, it's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got plenty more to see here, guys.
Yeah.
So let's go for a walk and we'll see what we can find.
Look, all those will be seen.
Yeah. I think Tom is my dream man. He's knowledgeable and he's passionate, and I feel very safe with him because we're wandering around essentially a bit of wild Australia, and I feel very, 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 very comfortable and safe. I know I fall in love all the time on these cruises, but he is, I'm going to use an old-fashioned word, he's an absolute dreamboat. There, I've said it. I've said it on television. I love him.
So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to find this one.
Oh no, this is never good. All right, it's right there.
And what about the second one, Susan? Is it...
One.
Yep, that's the
But
job.
I don't know where the second... Can you see the second one?
Mum's just in there.
Yeah, you're right. It's just over here. Can't see?
I can see.
You can see it. Now, that's about at the age where it will achieve independence from mum. So they start separating from each other. So she's still keeping an eye on her daughter, but from a distance.
Today, there are around 15,000 koalas on the island. But the numbers were 3 times higher back in 2019, before a bushfire, the largest in the island's recorded history, raged for weeks, devastating everything in its path.
From seeing the devastation where it was ash and apocalyptic, in a word, to now when it's regenerated and providing such a beautiful environment, food source and home to these great little guys up here.
Did you manage to, particularly the koalas, did you manage to get any of them to safety? Did you manage to get any of them to the mainland?
No, so we couldn't capture the koalas and relocate them. There wasn't time. There almost wasn't time to evacuate humans.
Gosh.
So the kangaroos ran, the koalas climbed, the goannas went underground, but to the sanctuary alone, there was tens of thousands of wildlife that were killed
That's
alone.
Just devastating,
Yeah,
isn't
it was, yeah. We had a lot of experts come in and help us with what we needed to do for the survivors.
In the last 5 years, Tom and his colleagues have been helping the land recover, and it's incredible to see how it's flourishing just a few years later. And the number of indigenous species is on the rise too.
2020, it was national and international news, and for most Australians, we were devastated to hear it, and we couldn't do anything, and it just was dire. So that's the past now, and it's great that this sanctuary is in the hands of Tom. And he's very...
And it's thriving.
Absolutely.
And we got to see some koalas.
We did.
I feel really relaxed here. It's
That's
been,
what we aim
it's
for,
been.
Susan.
I've got that sense of euphoria. I think the koalas get.
What a wonderful way to meet 2 of the country's most iconic animals. After a great day with Sue and Kat, we've arranged to meet up with a few other solo travellers out on deck. And I'm curious to find out more about why they love going it alone.
Do you find cruising as a solo traveller quite a reassuring holiday?
I love it. I know every night we'll still meet at the group and then go to dinner, and it's just amazing.
What I like about your friendship group is it seems very easy. You're all very relaxed.
For me, it took away the most difficult part of solo traveling, which is logistics. But a cruise, it's like that little safety net.
Like, I know some of my friends will just sling on a backpack and wander for hours. I can't do that. I feel really anxious in a new place. And having people you can go out with, I think that would take away a lot of my worry.
You know what I like? It's not called singles, it's called solo. So anybody can go, whether you're married or you've got a partner at home.
You're not necessarily on holiday on your own because you're single. It might just be because you want to go on holiday without your partner, quite frankly.
I think we should end that chat there before I get into trouble. But I'm loving spending time with my new solo pals. It's smiles all around as the sun sets on another great day on my cruise of a lifetime. As a new day breaks, we're greeted with more blue skies and sunshine, and there's a sense of fun in the air.
So far on my mission to get to know Australia,
Adventurous Calman has very much been at the fore. I've wandered through the bush and seen some incredible wildlife. Today is a little bit different. Today, refined Calman has come out to play. How do you do?
Let's just see how refined I am after an excursion to a winery.
Oh, it's a nice one.
Southern Australia boasts 18 wine regions, and we're visiting a vineyard that stands out from the crowd thanks to its award-winning wines and stunning tasting rooms and restaurant.
Oh my gosh. Look at this place. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
I'm with some more of the solo travellers for a wine tasting class in this wonderful building.
It's also very windy.
Oh, look, there's grapes.
Hold on to your hats.
Right there, right there. Oh my God,
the ladies are coming.
There's little tiny grapes.
The building was designed by the vineyard's chief winemaker, Chester Osborne. His cube-shaped design reflects the many facets and puzzles of the winemaking process.
Please have a seat.
I'm sensing I've a lot to learn.
Welcome, lovely ladies, to this beautiful wine tasting experience. It is a vertical wine tasting of the flagship Shiraz of Darrenberg Winery.
What on earth is a vertical wine tasting?
Yes, exactly. Good question. I was about to get to that.
I'm vertical just now.
A vertical wine tasting is basically a tasting of the same wine 1 year apart from each other.
Oh.
Okay, so it's a a really good way to understand how wine evolves, because wine changes quite dramatically when it's inside of the bottle after it's been made.
To be honest, I'm not really a wine connoisseur. I usually prefer a cold beer. But I've been assured our wine tasting session will open my eyes and my palate to a whole new world of deliciousness.
The soil is one big aspect of what could make a slight difference in the Shiraz flavour and texture. Another component is the elevation. Generally higher elevated vineyards have a lighter expression of flavour and palate weight. And then the direction that the vineyards are facing is super important.
Time to taste.
There's no right or wrong way to do the tasting. You can either start from the 2018 and work backwards, or you can go from the oldest and work forwards. Swirl your wine. We swirl our wines around to get a little bit of oxygen exposure to the wine that's in the glass. So we want to basically awaken the aromas and the flavour profile.
Awaken the aromas.
Yes, awaken them.
So you like what you like wines?
It's delicious. Love Shiraz. I like Australian Shiraz. It's really yummy. Yeah.
We like to sort of swish them around a little bit in our mouth and try to get the wine in contact with everything that's in your mouth. I'm talking the size of your cheeks, right at the back of your palate. And you should have a nice explosion of flavour there.
I'm not sure I'm doing this correctly, but I'm enjoying the company of my fellow cruisers.
I can taste the wood.
Wow. How are you enjoying the wine?
I am enjoying it, and I'm surprised I can actually taste a difference. The explanation really helped.
Yes.
Did I slur my words?
No. I tell you what, the explanation was bang on. It really was. Now, you clearly like your big red wines.
Yes.
Was this something you wanted to do when you came on the cruise, to come to wine country?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't know Australian wines.
Yes.
So far they're amazing. It's wonderful here. I've been so spoiled with Sydney and Melbourne, and that I've met great people.
I think it's quite a good holiday if you're travelling on your own, because
Fantastic, yeah.
you can meet people or stay in your cabin.
There's another thing you can do too. If you meet somebody a little wacky, you can avoid them.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, absolutely.
The best wines bring people together, and these solo cruisers are fast becoming friends.
Now I've had like a lot. It's really nice.
I told you, didn't I?
It tastes better and better, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's time to stagger back to the ship before it departs.
Cheers to you, Jason, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Jason. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to host you today.
Thank you.
Coming up, we reach Australia's most southern state, Tasmania.
It looks lush.
And visit a UNESCO-protected site with a dark colonial past.
It's a machine which is designed to grind these rogues into honest men.
Cruising along the coast of Australia has been a dream come true. And there's one last destination on my bucket list, Tasmania.
When I was at school, in the classroom, there was a giant map of the world. And in my head, Tasmania was the furthest place I could possibly go. And also, I thought it would be barren and wild and, of course, full of Tasmanian devils. But now, as we're sailing into Hobart, it looks lush and it looks very, very beautiful. And it just shows you how wrong you can be.
There's real excitement on board the ship this morning. For lots of passengers, Tasmania is one of the main reasons they booked this cruise. As we disembark, some are off to explore the stunning coastline, but I'm hopping on a bus to get my history fix at a UNESCO-protected heritage site.
This is what I've been looking forward to most of all, is visiting this place. I've looked at loads of photographs on the internet, but only when you actually arrive here can you see the scale of it.
This is Port Arthur, once a penal colony built in the 1830s on unceded Aboriginal land after Britain had colonised Australia. Convicts from Britain and Ireland were exiled here for reform. As a tourist, it's an uncomfortable part of our country's history, but I want to understand more about it. Bernard is my guide for today's tour.
Bernard, I'm so pleased to talk to you. Can you start from the beginning and tell me when it was built and when it started being used?
Well, where you're standing now, you would have been in the water. This is a bay which was found by some British sailors in 1830. But it was not built as a prison. It was built as a factory. That is a granary.
So originally, the British sailors that came here weren't thinking about it in terms of the penal colony.
Half and half. We're going to use the prisoners, the convicts we've already got.
It's free labour.
It's a machine designed to grind these rogues into honest men.
Between 1788 and 1868, more than 162,000 convicts were shipped from Britain and Ireland to serve their sentences in Australia. 12,500 of the worst offenders were sent here.
The conditions here are very harsh. This is for men who have committed crimes in England, enough to be exiled, sent to the colonies. Here's a place at the end of the line.
Most convicts served their time working long, hard hours. Those who rebelled were sent to live in isolation.
We are in the silent prison. This is where the prisoners are brought and then they're escorted to their cells for solitary confinement.
I can only imagine the absolute fear that people would have had.
It's intended to humiliate you, to reduce you to zero, to control you. That's the purpose. I suggest you go into cell C1. You can see what it's like for yourself.
Okay. So this is one of the cells that the prisoners would be kept in, and the first thing that strikes me is how small it is, because I am a small person and I can practically touch the sides of the cell. It's difficult to confront this part of history of shipping 162,000 people from the British Isles to the other side of the world to end up in somewhere like this.
It's thought that today 20% of Australians are descended from exiled convicts.
Convict tattoo.
Uh-huh.
Several blue stars on the left wrist.
Yes.
That's my convict ancestor.
Really?
He and his brother stole a horse in order to be transported to Western Australia. A new life.
So they did it
And you were
deliberately
saying, yes, they did it deliberately.
to get
That's
to
my
Australia.
family story.
For decades, many Australians saw their convict ancestry as a stain on their family history. But today, many have reclaimed their past, like Bernard, and wear the tattoo as a symbol of pride.
Who are the convicts? Are they malingerers? Are they habitual criminals? Are they working class heroes? Are they people caught in the maw of an unjust system? Who are the convicts? They can be whoever we like.
Port Arthur is UNESCO protected, and the site now acknowledges that it was built on unceded Aboriginal land. It stands today as a reminder of this island's past.
Bernard, thank you so much for showing me around. It's been a really incredible visit.
Oh, thank you, Susan. Oh, and one more thing, Susan.
Yes?
Be good.
I will, I promise.
It's time to make my way back to the ship, and there's a lot to reflect upon as my journey in Australia draws to a close.
My visit to Port Arthur has been everything I wanted and much, much more. And what will really stay with me is Bernard, who shared his family's story of sort of reclaiming their history and avoiding that idea of the convict stain. And the whole experience actually has given me time to reflect on the cruise, which is good, because I'm going to put my cards on the table for you now. I've been avoiding coming to Australia for decades because I have a really severe phobia of flying. And the only thing I could think when I got on that plane back in the UK was, I hope this is worth it. And I can tell you now, it absolutely is. I have met the friendliest people, I've seen the most beautiful wildlife, and as we've been sailing along, the scenery is absolutely stunning. If I've got one message for you from my experience, do not let fear stand in your way of seeing the world. If you are brave, the rewards can be absolutely magnificent.
Back on the ship, there's just enough time to make one more lasting memory.
It's like a human pyramid, hang on to each other.
A photo with all the incredible friends I've met and who've helped make this cruise a trip of a lifetime.
3, 2, 1. That's someone!
Next time, my cruise of a lifetime takes me to New Zealand.
New Zealand!
Where I experience an unforgettable train journey.
We are really quite high up. Oh my God!
Meet the pups who are anything but sheepish.
Shaking hands with a sheepdog, everything I wanted.
And cast myself in a role I was destined to play.
Get off the road! Quick!
A hobbit!